What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, daily news, what's going on in the United States, Washington, D.C., money, investing, and the next stimulus package, which has been announced at $3.5 trillion and will be the largest stimulus package ever. Although we have moderate Democrats like Senator Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema, dun dun dun, who are threatening to lower the next stimulus package to potentially a little bit lower and upend the Democrat strategy, even though they're Democrats themselves. And the fighting is going on between this next stimulus package. We have had multiple different stimulus items, stimulus checks, and stimulus provisions announced within the last 24 hours. I had a really good video on that in the last video. We'll be covering some of that in this video as well, as there's really a lot going on here in the last 24 hours as the Biden administration has come out with new vaccine mandates. Craziness going on there, very controversial issues going on across the United States right now. Los Angeles school districts has been now the second major school district to announce they have passed vaccine mandates in the Los Angeles school district. And of course, the Biden administration has passed new vaccine mandates that could affect up to 100 million people. We're also going to be covering the new stimulus check details and proposals, the next stimulus package, several different things to cover in this video. Also, I want to say I will have a bonus video for you guys tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. If you remember, I used to do a fourth video every night. Tonight, I will have a bonus video for you guys tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern time. If you're on the West Coast, that is 8 p.m. West Coast time tonight. If you have bell notifications on, you won't get a bell notification for this video. YouTube only sends out 3 per day for a channel. So tune in tonight at 11 p.m. It's a bonus video, a special edition video that you won't want to miss out tonight. So just remember to tune in tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight for a special bonus video. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us, and let's jump right in. We got a lot to discuss. Okay, first, I'm not going to go over the details of this, but I had this in the last couple videos. But President Biden has announced new vaccine mandates that could potentially affect up to 100 million Americans. People that work at businesses that have over 100 employees will potentially have to new vaccine mandates. Yeah. Also, the CDC has just come out with a new report that says unvaccinated people are 11 times more likely to die of the virus than people who got shots. This is new data from the CDC as of 3 hours ago. This data says that data released on Friday shows that unvaccinated people are far more vulnerable to infection, hospitalization, and death from the virus than fully vaccinated people. A Center for Disease Control and Prevention study released on Friday afternoon tracked more than 615,000 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths from the U.S. from the beginning of April until the middle of July in 13 areas of the country. It is the largest study yet of post-vaccination cases, hospitalizations, and deaths since Delta emerged in the U.S. Across the board, the study found that unvaccinated people made up for the bulk of the cases nationwide, even in the later part of the summer when the Delta variant was dominating. During the first period of the study, from April 14th to June 19, unvaccinated people accounted for 95% of the cases, 93% of hospitalizations, and 92% of deaths. I think everybody knows that you can still catch the virus if you're vaccinated, but it appears to be a very small percentage of the cases. So unvaccinated people account for 95% of cases, 93% of hospitalizations, and 92% of deaths, according to this new report from the CDC. President Biden challenges Republicans who want to sue him and the administration over his new vaccine mandates and says, quote, to have at it. President Biden dared Republican governors and lawmakers to sue his administration over newly unveiled vaccine mandates after speaking at Brooklyn Middle School in Washington, D.C. on school reopenings. He says, quote, have at it. He said to a reporter who asked him about potential legal challenges to the administration's new wide-ranging vaccine requirements that I covered in a video about 2 or 3 videos ago. President Biden took a firm and assertive tone in a Thursday address announcing a slew of new federal government requirements and mandates to combat the Delta variant and boost lagging vaccination rates, explicitly laying the blame on unvaccinated Americans and some Republican leaders. The Labor Department is set to draft an Emergency Temporary Standard, or ETS rule, creating the requirement, which will be enforced by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. The announcement immediately sparked fierce backlash from Republican governors, members of Congress, and conservative media figures. Quote, I am so disappointed that particularly some Republican governors have been so cavalier with the health of these kids, so cavalier with the health of these communities, of their communities, said President Biden on Friday. We're playing for real here. This isn't a game, said the president. While some Republican groups are going to be fighting against President Biden, not all Republican groups are opposed to Biden's vaccine requirements. Some powerful business groups whose members are directly affected by Biden's recent announcement vaccine requirements applauded Biden's effort to boost vaccinations, but said that the administration needs to provide more details about its plan. The National Associations of Manufacturers president Jay Timmons on Thursday said he shares Biden's goal of getting Americans vaccinated, but expressed concerns about the cost of implementing the requirement. Quote, we look forward to working with the administration to ensure any vaccine requirements are structured in a way that does not negatively impact the operations of manufacturers that have been leading through the pandemic to keep Americans safe, he said in a statement. It is important that undue compliance costs do not burden manufacturers, large and small alike. Pfizer has also announced it is set to seek approval for the vaccine in children ages 5 and over very soon. And a White House official stated that it does not rule out requiring vaccine tests or vaccines for domestic flights, airline flights. That could be a new restriction possibly coming soon, that you might have to show vaccine identifications or a negative test to possibly get on an airline. Could be something coming soon. So keep that in mind, because a White House official did not rule that out when asked about it recently. Okay, multiple different items about stimulus checks in the news and stimulus programs in the news, as stimulus items for the next stimulus package are really heating up. Two or three different items for seniors. Number one, a $1,400 stimulus check for seniors is making its way, making major national news across the United States. As you can see here, a $1,400 stimulus check for seniors. Senior Citizens League, which is a huge national group, has created a petition to support Social Security recipients and is fighting and creating a national a national petition fighting for a $1,400 stimulus check for seniors. Yes, this is actually making major national news. They're fighting for a $1,400 stimulus check to be included in this next stimulus package for seniors or possibly people on Social Security. However, people not on Social Security are saying, well, what about us? And this is what a lot of people have been saying from the last package, that people that didn't receive the child tax credits have been saying this for a while. Well, everybody, a lot of people on the third stimulus check package got the $1,400 checks, But remember, in that third stimulus check package was the child tax credits in addition to those. And those people have been receiving, 65 million people have been receiving those child tax credits monthly in addition to the third stimulus checks of $1,400. And that is kind of where we get a little bit of dissension. Is that that third stimulus check package had the $1,400 checks, but it also had the child tax credits, which were the monthly payments of $250 to $300 monthly checks for children on top of the $1,400 checks for adults, $1,400 checks for children, and $1,400 checks for adult dependents and college students in that third stimulus check package. Now, those monthly checks end at the end of this year for children, the child tax credits. And in this next package, the $3.5 trillion package, Democrats are saying they want to extend that possibly until 2025. Those monthly checks for children equate to a total of $3,000 to $3,600 per year per child. And they want to extend that until 2025. But a lot of people are saying that's really, really great for children, but what about for everybody else? Democrats have said that in this next package, they also want to include an adult tax credit, which could be for people making under $50,000, but we don't know how much that will be. We don't know if it will be included. We don't even know if the child tax credits will be extended and included. We don't even know if the next package is going to pass because Democrats like Senator Joe Manchin are really threatening the package right now. Joe Manchin wants the package to be potentially cut in half and lowered from $3.5 trillion to as low as $1.5 trillion, which $1.5 trillion is still a lot of money. Remember, the third stimulus check package was $1.9 trillion. But Joe Manchin is pretty much on a ledge on his own and is like the only Democrat saying that he wants $1.5 trillion. In fact, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of Democrats that actually want more than $3.5 trillion. The Democratic Progressive Caucus wants, the majority of them want the package to be more than $3.5 trillion. But here's where it gets interesting is that you need every single Democrat in the Senate, all 50 of them, and 99% of the Democrats in the House to say yes. Because remember, not a single Republican is going to say yes to this. Not a single Republican said yes to the third stimulus check package. So when you got your third stimulus check, that $1,400 check, that $1,400 checks for children, that $1,400 check for adult dependents and college students who didn't even receive the first and second check, that SNAP bonus, that $300 per week unemployment bonus, that $50 billion of rent assistance, everything that was in that third stimulus check package, that child tax credit, that monthly check, not a single Republican voted yes on that. Not a single one. And not a single Republican is going to vote yes on this next stimulus package, whatever may be included in there. Whether it's going to be 1.5 trillion, 2 trillion, 3 trillion, or 3.5 trillion, not a single Republican is going to vote yes on this, and not a single Republican voted yes on the third stimulus check package. So all the Democrats basically have to have their ducks in a row, and 50 out of 50 Democrats need to vote yes, just like they did with the third stimulus check package. And 99% of the Democrats in the House need to all say yes, or nobody gets anything. And that is the difficulty of this. We need 50 and 220 Democrats in the Senate. You need like 99% of them to all come together. And you need basically out of 270 of them, you need 99% of them to agree. Imagine a room of 270 people and you need 99% of them to all agree on something. Just imagine trying to do that with a group of anybody. Imagine getting 270 people to agree on you want to all have a hot dog and you all want to have pickles and relish on the hot dog. And you want all 270 people to agree that they all need to eat a hot dog with pickles and relish. And then now think about that the pickles and relish is a package worth $3.5 trillion. And there's like hundreds of things in the package. And they all need to agree to the hundreds of things in the package. Yeah. Sounds like a difficult task. We're talking about Medicare, hearing, dental, vision benefits, possible checks for seniors, possible adult tax credits, possible child tax credits, monthly checks for years, possible fourth stimulus check, possible all the things on this list. Yeah, when you look at this list, there's a lot of things on here: utility assistance, internet assistance, mortgage assistance, debt forgiveness, paid family and medical leave, 2 years of free community college. Yeah, they're actually going to make that a thing if they can pass the package, that college would become free for the vast majority of Americans. It's not going to be for rich people, but they're going to have an income threshold on it, probably similar to the third stimulus check package. They're going to add hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aid benefits and denture benefits to Medicare that the majority of seniors do not have. They're going to lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60. Possible Social Security raises, home buyer tax credits possible, utility assistance, SNAP raises possible, on top of possibly the 25% SNAP increase that they just passed that will go into effect on October 1st. That is a 25% permanent increase. And lowering prescription drug prices and possible lower taxes for people making under $400,000. Yeah, like I said, there is a lot of things in this next package that they are working on. But the problem is you need 270 people to all agree that they all want the exact same thing, and there's like the bill is going to be thousands of pages, thousands of pages. Yeah, and that is the difficulty on this right now. And we have people like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema that want to spend less, 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 and we have people like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and even Chuck Schumer that want to spend more, more, more. And they're saying that this next package is paid for. They're saying we're raising the corporate tax and we're raising the tax on wealthy Americans, and we're spending $2 trillion of leftover stimulus money. So we're not adding any money to the national debt, is what they say. So why would we not spend more? We're not adding a dime to the national debt. At least that's what they say. So why would we not spend the full $3.5 trillion? In fact, Senator Bernie Sanders says that we were supposed to spend $6 trillion. Yeah. So the thing is that if they go lower, if they go 1.5 trillion or $2 trillion, there's going to have to be a significant amount of things cut. What gets cut? Do you cut Medicare expansion? Do you cut stimulus checks? Do you cut tax credits for children? Do you cut adult tax credits? Do you cut health insurance? Do you cut utility assistance? Do you cut climate change? Do you cut childcare? What do you cut? Do you cut free college? You got to start cutting things, right? If you start cutting the package in half, theoretically, half the things got to go. Something's got to go, right? And that's where basically you have a battle of Senator Bernie Sanders, who's in charge of this package. He's the Senate Budget Chairman, versus Senator Joe Manchin, a relatively new senator who's letting the power go to his head, saying, "No, my vote counts more than anybody." Senator Joe Manchin. Some people, if you read in the comments, think that he's more powerful than the president. And in a way, his one single vote could potentially be more powerful than the president at this point, because if he says no, the entire package doesn't pass until he says yes. Yeah, and that's the thing, is they're trying to jam in as many priorities as they can as they write the blueprint for their last shot at this partisan bill. Well, this is not their last shot. It's the last shot for this fiscal year, which is October 1st. On October 1st, they get a whole nother set of reconciliation cards. October 1st is the new fiscal year. And by the way, they need to pass a new stopgap bill or a new annual budget resolution, or else the government will shut down on October 1st. They have to do that as well. They also have to worry about how the U.S. could default on the national debt as soon as mid-October, based on a new analysis, which is a month away. And they're going to have to raise the national debt limit, with which the Republicans say they're not going to do, even though they did it twice during former President Donald Trump's presidency. They have to do it, or the government will default. Literally default. It would be like a person defaulting. It's not something the U.S. government, the United States of America, doesn't want to default on its obligations. I don't know, who even knows what'll happen if the United States government defaults. Yeah, unprecedented times. Yeah. So we're living in unprecedented times. We have to pass a government budget here by the end of the month, which Republicans and Democrats have to do together unless the Democrats cram that into the stimulus package, which Democrats, I don't think they want to do, as well as raise the national debt limit. Yeah, we're going to be in for a very interesting time as the Democrats are moving forward with this next stimulus package without Senator Joe Manchin at the moment, because Joe Manchin says he won't support $3.5 trillion, but the House of Representatives is in markups right now where they're putting the bill together at $3.5 trillion that Joe Manchin won't support. But the President Joe Biden, says he's going to sit down with Joe Manchin and convince him to play ball with the rest of the Democrats. Joe Manchin seems to do this. Maybe he'll run as a Republican next time around. I seen a funny comment from somebody. I don't remember who it was, to say maybe the Democrats will trade Joe Manchin for Mitt Romney. Maybe they'll just switch teams. Mitt Romney will come over to the Democrats, and Joe Manchin will go over to the Republicans. Yeah. Ultimately, just Mitt Romney and Joe Manchin, they do ultimately both end up voting for their teams at the end of the day, 99% of the time. Very rarely do they actually not vote with their own team. But nonetheless, this is all part of the negotiation phase. So we will see. Don't forget, I will have that bonus video for you guys at 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And if you didn't see my last video about stimulus checks for multiple different groups of people that have been announced and proposals that have been announced, there's a very interesting news on multiple different sets of stimulus checks and stimulus items that have just been announced. I'll link you to that video here in a moment. Make sure you've subscribed down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Time every day, except for tonight. We will have an 11 p.m. video as well. And make sure to click on this video here next to watch my video, my last video, about the recent stimulus checks that have been announced for multiple different groups of people. So click on this video next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.